Yes, my name is Eric Delfish. I reside in Toronto, and I've been here well past 40 years. And throughout those 40 years, I've been in contact with the Antigua and Barbuda community. Why? Because I believe that it's important that when people move to the diaspora, that they keep in contact for different reasons. You need to know what's going on in the homeland. You need to keep in touch with the culture. You have kids coming up who will basically want to know about the homeland, and it's good to pass that information on.
My name is Brendan Brown. I was born in London, raised in London, Antiguan parents who left in the 1950s, so I am the generation above Andia. My parents were 18 and 19 when they left here, and by the time I was born, they were like in their early 20s. So my generation, like the first generation of the Windrush next, who went to school and grew up from the beginning in the UK.
So I've been fortunate to live in 4 countries outside of Antigua. Australia, the UK, the Bahamas, and Costa Rica. And in each of these places, I was only Antiguan around for a while. I remember in my second year at university in the UK, the first year was a very lonely experience.
I believe the Antigua Barbuda newsmag is really important in maintaining that conversation of including the diaspora outside of Antigua into what is happening in Antigua. Because I think, a lot of maybe the information that's being shared is done by WhatsApp videos, social media.
All of my children have been involved with the Antigua and Barbuda community. They have basically contributed culturally, educationally. For example, my son he's on his second coin that he designed for the Royal Canadian Mint. And he has also contributed to the Antigua and Barbuda Association.
So magazines like the Antigua and Barbuda Newsmag hold a special place in my world. It's a way for me to read about what things are happening in Antigua, what's happening around the region. It's a way for me to connect with history in a way that I don't get from history books, because we're not taught sometimes the history that has happened in contemporary life of the islands. And so it's a nice way to read about our roots and our culture. And for me as a writer, it's a way for me to find stories around the islands that persons can connect to.
People that are doing great things in Antigua should be shared in a more tactile way, a way that you can say, wow, look at this article, let me share it with a friend, or let me share this with a grandchild or a child that maybe hasn't been to Antigua, maybe doesn't really have much exposure or knowledge of Antigua, and that could be their way in. Like, if they're interested in art and they see an article about a young artist in Antigua, be like, oh wow, I never knew that, or about an art gallery, and I think I want to go and visit that. These are the things, these are the articles, this is the content that can really bridge the gap between home and away, and I think that's really important.
Because of my father, very strong in the storytelling and very strong in the family connected. We made sure that we knew this is your cousin because 5 times over their great-great-granny was a strong great. So I understood my family. I understood Antigua when I got here because of my father's storytelling.
We need to get the message out there. We need to tap into what other people are doing in the diaspora. The Antigua and Barbuda Newsmag is a very critical item that conveys what's happening in the diaspora, because we have people in England, we have people in the United States, we have people all over the world.
Hello, and this is an Antiguan in Australia. I am on the south bank of the Yarra River in Melbourne. have a sister behind me. Further up the river, we've been watching the Moomba Masters skiing, water skiing, and wakeboarding championships. So that's been really exciting. And yeah, it's just been a really nice day with some of my Melbourne Flames Dragon Boating Club team members. We just hung out this afternoon, just watching the skiing and everything. So it's been wonderful.